In this video, I'd like to read and parse a CSV, a comma separated values file. The code can be found at the URL seen. Okay, so now there's a module for dealing with CSV files because they're a common type of format, but I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to sort of read and parse myself. Okay, so what are we reading? I have a file. It is located. Here's the code and here's the CSV. They're next to each other. And here's this very simple CSV file. I have pencils. They're 15 cents a piece, and I'm going to order 150 of them. I have pens that are 45 cents. I'm going to order 250 of them. And I have rulers, which are $1.45, and I'm going to order 50 of them. So it's what I'm ordering. I don't have any headers here, but it's the name of the item I'm ordering, the price for one, and the number I'm ordering. Just some sort of simple little order form. Okay. So the first thing, comments telling what I'm doing, which I just did. I'm bringing in the operating system module, and starting here, I'm finding the path of the file, then I'm getting the directory, just the location of the file without the file name as part of it, and I'm changing the terminal's location to that file. So now the terminal thinks it's where the program is, and so then when I say read the file with just a file name, it will know what I mean, because it will look where I'm at. The first place it will look is where I'm at, and it will find it. I'm going to have a set of parallel lists. We can do better later and have objects, but for now we'll just have an array of lists. And so we have the items and the prices and the numbers. That's what we saw that was in the file. Okay, so I'm going to use this with approach with the file, that CSV file open for reading and calling it F. I'm going to walk through the lines of so I'm going to read line by line of the lines that are in F, and I'm going to sum up the sort of bill of the order. So that's what this sum is for. Okay, so this is me looping through the lines of the file. We are stripping the line. And so that is taking out any sort of blank. If there are any blank lines, it's going to ignore them. Then the rstrip is stripping off of one side. So we're getting rid of any sort of white space, new line characters, spaces, tabs, what have you, that are sort of on the right side. And then we're taking that line, we're stripping off some white space, and then we are splitting it on our comma delimiter. That is creating a list of three things, X0, X1, X2, which we know were the items, the price, and the numbers. So here I am adding them to my lists that I declared above. So X0 was an item, so I append it to the items list. X1 was a price, so I cast it as a float. When I split, we're working with strings, and we get a bunch of strings, but I'm casting the price as a float and then adding it to my prices list. And I am taking X2 and casting as an integer. That was the number of things they ordered, so that was an integer. And I'm appending it to my numbers list. And then I am taking my sum and again casting the price as a float and multiplying it by my number, which casts as an integer, and adding it to my sum, which started off at 0. So that sum totaled my sum, my order. That's how much it costs. Okay. So now I am looping through my items, and it's a parallel list. So I'm also looping through my prices and numbers. And I'm printing it out, and I'm doing some formatting here. So I'm going to print out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in these curly brackets. And I have included in there, and those things are going to be my counter I, but I'm going to add 1. So I start at 1 and not 0. And then I'm going to show you the number of things ordered and the thing ordered and the price of the thing ordered, and then that multiplication of how much that item, the number times the price, so that the total, the subtotal for that particular item. Let's look a little at this formatting. I did not do any formatting of the first number, which is good if they ordered less than 10 items, but if they started ordering 10 items, then maybe I should have formatted this a little. The next thing was the numbers of things that they ordered. So I made 4 spaces because there were times when I ordered 100 or 200 or something of the things. And this greater than 4 says I'm using 4 places, and the greater says I'm right justifying. And the next thing in is the item. And I am giving 10 spaces for that. So my names of my things that I'm buying hopefully are less than 10 spaces. And I am left justifying those. So that's the less than sign there. Then I have the price of an object. I'm using 4.2f. So that means I'm using 4 spaces for the whole thing and 2 of them after the fraction. Okay, so again, all my prices were sort of $1 something or 45 cents or so. It might need, if I had more expensive items, I might need to change these numbers. And then the last one was for the number of items times the price. So now these are sort of bigger numbers. And so I said here, so this last one, greater than 7.2. Okay, so I'm going to use 7 spaces altogether. So the first number is how many spaces altogether. And then the 2 is how many in the fraction, 2 in the fraction, and the greater than is going to right justify it. Okay, and then I'm printing out the total, and then just some lines, and then I'm just showing you down here my lists. Okay, let's run it and have a look. Okay, so here is 1, 2, 3, 150 pencils, 250 pens, 55 rulers, and here's the price, and then here is the total for them. Okay, if I'd worked harder, I could have probably gotten this 214.75 to line up over here, but I just was too lazy. The terminal has like a sort of a mono-spaced font, so if you do the counting, things will line up, and so you can. So if you play with this formatting, you can get some nice sort of tabbed looking thing. Then down here, just my lists that it produced for me when I read the CSV file. All right, that's what I wanted to show you. Thank you.